work at home moms, thanks for joining us today at the Mom Desk Club. Today we've got some really fun things planned in this episode for you. This season we've been talking all about the balancing act, juggling motherhood and a home-based career. And today's gonna be really fun because we're gonna talk all about managing household chores and responsibilities as a work at home mom, which is quite the struggle, is it not? Now, I feel like it's very important to start with that I am not talking about this because I know everything about it or because I am an expert. I am talking about it because I have my own struggles with managing my home, my household chores, my responsibilities, and being a homemaker and a work-at-home mom and a wife. I am not good at it. I have not mastered it, but we're talking about it because it's something that we can all learn from and we can all do better. So let's go ahead and jump in. And don't forget, if you have any tips that you want to share, put them down in the comments because I would really like to learn how you guys manage your household chores and how you guys manage your homes while being work-at-home moms. So let's go ahead and get started. My first tip is to batch your tasks for efficiency. This is something that I have been slowly learning and getting better at. One of the quickest ways that comes to mind is if I am making, let's say, cinnamon rolls. I did cinnamon rolls this morning for my little guy's birthday. I'm not gonna just make a single batch of it. We're doubling the batch and we're gonna make 2 huge pans of these things. And that way, either we've got leftovers for snacks, leftovers for breakfast tomorrow, we've got leftovers for breakfast maybe in 2 mornings from now. We'll stick them in the fridge, hide them, forget about them, come back to them. I've been doing that with quiche a lot lately. I'll make quiche for dinner or for lunch, double up on the quiche recipe, make 2 quiches, and then you've got some in the fridge to save for later. So it works really well with food items. If you can batch food items, it can really save you a lot of time and effort and energy if you do that. There are other tasks that you can batch as well. You could batch your work tasks. So like sitting down and responding all your emails at just one time instead of, responding periodically throughout the day. Maybe pick a time right after breakfast. If you've got your kids at home with you, they're going to go play for a little bit, sit down, respond to all of your emails, and then don't touch your email again for the rest, for a little while at least, until the next time when you're going to check your email. Batching your tasks can be a really efficient way of using your time. I'm not saying I do it well, but I am saying it's a good tip and it's something that can be utilized in your home and in your home life to help kind of streamline things and keep you from feeling so fragmented. I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels super scatterbrained because I'll start on one project and then somebody interrupts me and then I start on another project and then somebody interrupts me, whereas it would be so much more efficient if I would just sit down, focus on one thing, get it finished, batch it, do the whole thing at once, and then move on to the next task. Not always realistic, but it's definitely a good goal to work towards. Tip number 2 is to create a weekly schedule. Now, this is something that I have actually gotten better at over the years, especially last year. I purchased a planner from the Passionate Penny Pincher. You can find her on Facebook, you can find her online, and she has this really cool home planner. She's also a work-at-home mom, so she manages her home and her business, and I really like the way she put this planner together because it kind of takes some of the mental load off of household chores. She basically has a spot in there for every day of the week, and there's a chore assigned to every day. So, like on Mondays, I can't remember what Mondays are because our Mondays are insane, so I don't even pay attention to Mondays. Tuesdays are like sweep and vacuum your floors. Wednesday is clean the bathrooms. Thursday is change all the sheets. Fridays, I think, is clean out the fridge. And so she's got these tasks broke out basically every day of the week. And then there's like your big task, like this week at some point today, spend 30 minutes going through this one thing. Maybe it's organizing your cookbooks or organizing your spice cabinet, something like that. So it really helped. And she's even got things broke up seasonally too. So like maybe really deep cleaning your windows or cleaning out your air vents. There's always some task that's seasonally appropriate, and she's got it mapped in there so that you don't have to think about it, because I think that's what I really struggle with when it comes to home organization and just some of those tasks is remembering what needs to be done next. Next thing you know, it's been like 3 weeks and I haven't cleaned out the car and I am like, oh, this is really bad. We need to deal with this immediately because this has gone into catastrophic emergency. So what I really liked about that planner was that it took some of the mental load off of having to remember those tasks. You just open your planner, you look at it and it says, oh, this week we're going to be cleaning up the trash outside in the yard, or this week we're going to be doing this. And that kind of helped take some of that off. But another thing is it also really helps your family because if they all know that you're going to be cleaning bathrooms on Wednesday, so by having a weekly schedule, that can really help your family know what days you're going to be doing certain things. Maybe they would know if sheet day is on Thursday and they are just responsible for taking the sheets off their bed and bringing them down to the laundry room, that kind of thing. So having a weekly schedule, making sure it's very well known, can really help keep your family on board as well. Okay, so for tip number 4, I would like for you to outsource where possible. Now, I think that this brings up a really interesting topic, especially as moms, as homemakers, as work-at-home moms. I've seen a lot of different people talking about involving their family in chores. Some people don't believe in having their kids help with chores. Some people believe with having their kids help with lots of chores. I think there's probably a balance somewhere in the middle, because obviously you don't want your kids to have to do all of the household work. But I do think that there is a really important aspect of allowing your children to help and teach them responsibility and teach them that working is important. Teach them that we all live in this house together. We all take care of it together. We all make the messes. We all work together to clean it up. And what we haven't figured out yet is how to do it with a happy heart. But that's what we're working towards, because why be miserable cleaning when it's something we're going to have to do literally for the rest of our life? So let's find a way to do it cheerfully and get it done, because it all feels so much nicer when the house is clean, and it feels even nicer when the house is clean and you didn't have to yell at everybody to get to that point. So that's what we're working towards, but we're not there yet. But I will say one thing that I'm pretty adamant about is that my kids help clean up the floor at least once to twice a day. Generally, it's because they've been the ones making the mess anyway. So you made the mess, you clean it up. I'll teach you how to organize. I'll make sure you have everything you need to keep everything organized, but you're going to help clean up the floor, and you're going to help do it with a happy heart, and we're going to work together and we're going to get it done. Sometimes I have to set a timer. Otherwise, that kind of thing will take forever. They'll drag it on for hours and hours, and of course then it really is a miserable task. Something that can be done in 10 minutes takes 30 minutes, and then everybody's really mad by the end of it. So that's something we're still working on. Another thing that I try to help my kids learn and be a part of is their laundry process, and I'm sure that I will dive into this more maybe with a blog or something in the future. But I, about 2 years ago, initiated a different laundry strategy where all of my kids have their own dirty clothes bag that hangs in their shared bathroom, and then once or twice a week we take their laundry down, we put it through the washer. I don't separate out their blue jeans. I don't separate out their lights or their colors or anything like that. All of their laundry goes in the washer. All of their laundry goes in the dryer. It all comes back upstairs. And then I've made it really easy for them to be able to sort their laundry into specific dresser boxes so that they can easily sort their own laundry. Even the 1-year-old is learning how to sort his laundry. It's short shirt, pants, and then pajamas and underwear. 3 boxes. Everything goes in those boxes. I don't worry about folding with kids. I know that might really rub some people the wrong way, but I got to the point that I couldn't stomach folding all of their laundry, spending hours folding laundry, putting it away, and then them going and rifling through the whole box, digging for a very specific shirt and completely ruining all of the folding. It was just about nearly killing me. So I don't fold clothes anymore. At some point, we'll tackle that. We'll learn how to fold our laundry. We'll learn how to respect the folding. They will just take care of it themselves. That way they know that, if they want to tear their drawer apart, that's fine, but you're also going to have to then deal with putting it all back together because you're the one who folded all of that in the first place. So them learning that undoing their own work is a problem. So that's like one of the other things that I do is I try to have them help with their laundry. Now, there is a caveat to this. I don't normally just let the laundry basket sit there for days. So if they don't, we have a small reward system going on where if they sort out their laundry and put it all away without me having to ask, I will give them some kind of bonus. Generally, it's a monetary bonus, like coins, specific number of coins. If they will do it without me having to ask, they get double the reward. If they do it when I ask them, they will get the reward. And if I notice after a couple days that the laundry basket hasn't been dealt with, I've already asked them to do it, they haven't done it, I just go ahead and go put it away, but they're not going to get any kind of reward for that. I'm not saying that's the right way to handle it, but that's the way we're doing it right now. We're seeing how it works. Everybody's still pretty young in my house, so I don't have an iron fist with this at all, but that's how we're tackling things right now, just to see if we can make it easier. But the point is, it is okay to delegate out chores, whether that's to your family, whether that's to your spouse who is also living in your home and helping work. Figure out something that works together for you. A lot of times the way we tackle evenings is as soon as we get the kids to bed, I will start in the kitchen, getting the kitchen all cleaned up from dinner and from everything else we did that day, and my husband will tackle the floors and he'll clean all the floors up so that we can run the robot back every night. As far as outsourcing goes, there are other options like hiring housekeepers and cleaners to come in and take care of your home. If that is something that you are able to bring into your budget, I am all for this. Even if it's somebody who comes in once a month and just helps with a lot of the really weird deep cleaning that you kind of forget about, wiping things down, touching things up, shining up the glass, that kind of stuff. I think that can be so helpful for a home mom, just to have somebody come in and kind of touch things up, get things tidied back up, help you put things back where they belong, and then let you run out the rest of the month managing it and taking care of it. Or maybe you can bring somebody in weekly who can take care of that kind of stuff. Maybe you've got somebody in your life that you want to pay. Maybe it's not necessarily a housekeeping service, but maybe you've got a really close friend or a relative, neighbor, or somebody who goes to your church who's looking for a way to make some extra money, and maybe they want to come in and help you with your house. The options are endless on this kind of thing. Actually, I have known several people who will hire their younger sister-in-laws or different family members who, are just looking for some extra cash, and it works out really well to have them them come in and clean the house. Plus, it can also be a really great way to teach a younger person how to take care of their home. So yeah, there's going to be some training up front on your end, teach them how you like things, how you want things done, but it can be a really great mentorship as well, because as you teach them how to do things, then they know how you want them done, and then they can help kind of take care of the house, and you're also giving them some life skills for the future as well. So there's a lot of different options in that, but I just want to make sure that you understand that it is okay to delegate these tasks out. You can't do everything on your own. Sometimes you have to do things on your own, but in those cases, it's okay to delegate that kind of stuff, some things out to your children, even if it's a matter of handing them a bottle of window cleaner and a cloth and telling them to go at it and have fun, because generally you can buy yourself a good 30 minutes of entertainment where they're having fun cleaning, the windows are getting mostly clean, and it's kind of a win for everybody. So that's another hot tip. So another tip is to practice the 2-minute rule. I think that this is really helpful because I don't know about you, but I tend to get caught up in this mind game where I think that something is going to take a lot longer than it will, and then I put it off, and then it never gets taken care of. I don't know if you've ever heard the reference. They're called doom piles. This is something I think primarily associated with people who have ADHD. That's a whole other topic, but I can really relate to the whole doom pile situation. It stands for don't organize, only move. That is so me. I have piles all over the place that I don't organize. I just move them from one place to the other. It's like, okay, you're in my way. I'm going to pick you up and move you. I'm not going to organize you. I'm going to just set you in a pile and I'll move you around my house until you've made it all the way around the house, and then you start back where you were. And maybe when my child has a birthday party, then that's when I'll organize the pile, or chances are I'm going to move it to a very obscure room in the house and then I'll move it back where I had it earlier later. Don't be me. But I think that that's where this 2-minute rule comes into play, because a lot of times we put stuff off for a really long time thinking, oh, this is going to take forever. I don't have time to do this. It's going to take you 2 minutes of just committing yourself to saying, I am going to take this bag of clothes that is for next summer and I'm going to go downstairs and put it in the storage box where it belongs. It will take me 2 minutes to do this, instead of spending the next 2 hours over the next 2 weeks moving said bag around the house. You'll never guess how I have that example. All that to say, think to yourself, how long will this take me to accomplish this task? And if you can go ahead and do it right now, take 2 minutes, finish the task, complete it through to the end. Don't just move stuff around the house, because that's really going to help as a work-at-home mom. I feel like when my house is a little ordered and a little tidier and a little less chaotic, my brain has space to kind of just rest. But getting to that spot is really hard for me. So if you can do it in 2-minute increments, it can make a big difference in your day, in your life, in your week. It'll help. My final tip is to practice the art of saying no. Also, not saying I'm good at this, but there is one thing that I actually can be relatively good at. I've talked to a really good friend of mine about this, and we have realized that one of the things that while I am not very diligent on accomplishing like day tasks, if that makes any sense, it's not my strong point, not something I'm good at, something I'm working on, but not something I have achieved yet. One thing I am really good on though is being able to say no and stop. So at some point in an evening, I'm like, you know what? I have spent hours trying to put this house back the way it belongs. I have done the best I can. I have done as much as I can. I have done all the emergency tasks that need to be accomplished for work, for my kitchen, for my home, for my house. And now I am going to sit down and I'm going to watch one show. I am going to try to work on my sewing project. I'm going to brush my teeth first and get in my pajamas, because we all know that I'm falling asleep once I sit down on the couch. But I'm not the type of person who has to have everything completely done in order to be able to sit down and relax, because there is this little voice in the back of my head that says, Laurel, you will never get that all done. At some point, you're going to have to pause, rest, and realize that you are better off to everybody getting a little bit of extra rest and tackling it again tomorrow. So that would be one place where you could use the art of saying no, is saying no to yourself and saying, listen, but I'm going to sit down and rest now. I'm going to end my day. Other ways that this could come into play would be saying no to certain activities, certain events, certain items. One of the things that has been a big deal for me lately is saying no to specific items coming into our home. I'm trying not to be a stickler about it. I'm not trying to be legalistic about this, but I have come to the conclusion that I can't let things in my house. There are some things that they cannot come in here anymore, and you have to just draw the line, and you have to throw things away. You have to donate them. You have to do what you need to do, but you will spend your entire life cleaning up those items if you don't let them out. So sometimes it can be saying no to items, saying no to activities, or it can just be saying no to the work and letting yourself rest. All right, that is all I have for you today when it comes to managing household chores and other responsibilities around your home. As a work-at-home mom, I hope that some of these tips can be helpful for you. I hope they can maybe provide you a little bit of freedom as you are playing this balancing act of being a mom and an entrepreneur, or an employee and a work-at-home mom. I hope that this can help you out. And like always, if you have some ideas or tips or things that really work for you in your home, I would love for you to share them down in the comments. There's no one way to accomplish a specific goal or to get to an end result, but it can really help when we all share ideas together, and then we can learn from each other, tweak them, make them fit our lifestyles, and then share the way we do it and help somebody else down the road. So I really hope you share your comments with us about how you manage your household and your other responsibilities and tasks around the home as a work-at-home mom. Like always, we are so glad to have you here over at the Mom Desk Club. I hope that we can create a really awesome community of women who are being moms, but also working at home and creating this really cool lifestyle and balance and harmony. And I really look forward to my time with you, and I hope that you do as well. I look forward to seeing you at the next one. Before I go, I wanted to let you know that I hope you come back next week, because we are going to be talking about tools, technology, and apps that can help with time and productivity improvement. We've already talked about some productivity stuff before, but now we're going to dive into some really cool apps that can help you stay organized and kind of keep things humming and buzzing as we go. So I hope you join us next time as we are rounding out our season of the balancing act, balancing motherhood and a work from home career. So I hope to see you then.